It's an actual cinematic masterpiece, and period. Yeah. I felt like a guru doing that with my pink drink from Starbucks. Hi. I love Harry Potter. In case you didn't know, like, I'm sure you didn't know at all. And even though no one cares, I'm going to do my makeup while I rank the Harry Potter movies. It's so interesting. I know everyone has been asking, like, oh my gosh, like, how do you rank the Harry Potter movies? That's what I'm gonna be doing. And I literally have notes. I did my homework. Well, not really homework. I just wrote down a million bajillion thoughts onto a page of each movie, and that's what I'm going to be doing. I guess this is like a school presentation, basically, but I'm not like literally shitting myself over it. I just want to start off by saying I love Harry Potter so much that I feel qualified to rank the movies and be correct about it. I actually liked the movies before I even read the books because I'm just that cool. I read the books a couple of years ago, finished them like 2 years ago, I'd say, and basically I'm qualified. So obviously there's 8 Harry Potter movies, and I've only read the books, like all of them collectively, once. Well, I've read a few of them twice, but I don't have like a huge memory of everything that happens, so bear with me. But there are a few book references that I have in my notes based on how much I remember. So obviously there's 8 spots in the ranking that can be where one of the movies go. So I'm gonna start from the lowest, so like the worst. All my opinions, by the way, I don't support JKR, absolutely not. What a bitch. Just had to put that out there for everyone. I don't support her. Oh, I hate talking when I have this beating on my neck. Anyways. I'm sorry, you're clicking off right now. I just know it. Anyways. How many times am I gonna say anyways in this video? Let's count, okay? Anyways. What is wrong with me? Number 8. The lowest movie. I love Harry Potter, so obviously I still like each and every movie as their own. I'm just ranking them on watchability and how much I'm enjoying myself throughout watching it. So at the very bottom of the list, we have Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I feel like there's not very many people who like that movie in the first place, so like, I don't know, I feel safe enough to say it, because it's like one of the first ones, so it's more like kid friendly. It's not as like Harry Potter fans are like, oh my god, this movie. Nothing wrong with it, obviously I still like it, but if I had to eliminate one of the Harry Potter movies to never ever be able to watch again, it would be the Chamber of Secrets, because it's almost like a copy of the first one. Like, obviously different things happen and it's like a whole different book, but they just feel the same. Like, the vibe feels very similar. They're both very nostalgic, which I'll get into more when I'm at the first movie in my ranking list. But yeah, it has the same kind of vibe as the first one, but worse in like the nicest way possible. Here's the thing. All of the Harry Potter movies are like 2.5 hours, except maybe the last one. It might be a bit shorter. All in all, they're all very long, and I don't have a great attention span. Obviously, it's Harry Potter, so I'll watch it. But sometimes I'm like, okay, let's wrap it up. Chamber of Secrets is the longest Harry Potter movie. For no reason. It could have been one of the older, more recent books that have more detail, but no, it's like the second book that has a snake and the golden trio. It's just not as important to the story as the other ones are, so I just feel like it's so long for no reason and it just feels dragged out to me. It's also the one I watched the least, which makes sense with my ranking, but like, not my favorite, I have to say it. But it's funny, because it used to be my favorite. It was literally my favorite when I was a kid. I don't know what happened. I just like stopped liking Chamber of Secrets. Another thing about the Chamber of Secrets is there's no Remus Lupin in it, so I don't really care. If you couldn't tell, Remus Lupin is my favorite character. If you know, you know. He is my favorite Harry Potter character ever to exist. I do base some of my rankings on that, whether or not he's in the movie. But I do have questions, just like, why did they not make any effort? Hogwarts as a school, teachers, staff, whatever, Dumbledore, why did they make zero effort to replace Ron Weasley's wand? I could only imagine how many kids break their wands at school. Like, if Ron does it, there has to be so many other kids who do it too. Kids are reckless, and they're like 11 years old to 17 or 18. Like, there has to be more kids who break their wands. There has to be some kind of like replacement wands that they have just in case. Or like, the Weasleys are literally known for being poor. And here's where I'm also annoyed, because in the first movie, McGonagall, I love her to bits, Minnie, but she bought Harry Potter a broomstick, the most expensive broomstick that there is out there on the market. She bought it, which is, by the way, I looked it up, more expensive than a wand. The Weasleys have all those kids, like they probably don't have enough money to get Ron a replacement wand, which, by the way, was already a hand-me-down wand. I am rambling so much about this. But it's just like, McGonagall buys this broomstick for Harry, but she won't buy Ron a wand? Something that's necessary for his entire education, and all the teachers, they're all like, oh, Ron, you need to get that wand fixed.
He doesn't have money, babes.
I would immediately buy him a wand. I would literally buy him 5 wands. I would buy him 100 wands because he deserves it and he's Ron Weasley and I love him. Second question is, why did Tom Riddle decide to keep his Horcrux near a basilisk? He's just setting himself up for failure at that point. Maybe there is a reason. I don't know, but I just had this idea when I was writing these notes. I was like, wait, why? Because basilisk venom literally destroys Horcruxes and the diary is a Horcrux. What was he expecting? He acted surprised when Harry stabbed it with the basilisk's fang, as if, not that Harry knew what he was doing at the time, but like,
what were you expecting, babes? You are dumb. You are dumb.
Anyways, that was all for one movie. Moving on to number 7, second most hated one of mine. Not that I hate it, I literally actually love this movie, but I just had to rank it this way. So let me actually start more of my makeup because I will just forget completely. So number 7 is Deathly Hallows Part 1. I love this movie. Like, I actually love it, but I feel like I don't love it as much on its own. I feel like if I'm gonna watch it, I want to watch both parts of the Deathly Hallows because, you know, like, I don't want to watch the first part and then just be like, what happens, as if I don't know what happens, but it's fun. It's like a fun sit down to watch both of them because they're very, like, action-packed, like, especially the second one, which I'll get into as well. I feel like watching it on its own, which I literally do watch it on its own. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I think just it's better to watch with both parts rather than on its own. I think that both parts, first part, like, the emotions in every single scene is so good. Like, the arguing scene between Harry and Ron, where he's like, you have no family! You're an orphan, bitch! That's what he said. Word for word. You have no family! I need to move on from this. That was really good. I always, like, get shivers watching different scenes in that movie because there's just so many different things to unpack. But yeah, the acting is really good because I think all of the cast kind of grew up and they have more experience with acting at that point where they, like, really get into the scenes rather than, like, in the first movie when they're kind of like, oh, ha. Obviously a different vibe too, so can't really judge that. But the thing that I don't like Harry Potter aside, every kind of movie or TV show that does this, I don't like it because I like to be sad. I like to be in pain. Sounds weird, but, like, when I'm watching something and you're killing someone off, I want to be sobbing in my bed for 3 hours over it. That's what I want. I don't want to just be like, oh, and then move on. What they do in this movie, so many characters that die, well, all the characters that die in this movie, part 1, only part 1, not part 2, they don't give you time to mourn. I can't remember exactly what happens in the book, but I know that Hedwig and Alistair die, both at the same kind of part at the beginning. And they just say it and then they move on. And there's no, like, mourning period. Which, I get it. Like, it's a movie and they have to move on with the actual plot. I want to cry. I want to be sad. They're just like, Mad Eye's dead. And then that's it. They're all like, oh no. And then they move on and they go to a wedding. Like, what the fuck? Hedwig, like, that was fucking sad. And then he's just like, she was trying to protect me. And then that was it. That was all we got with that whole situation. And then Dobby, I remember in the book, I remember it being like this whole thing, like almost a whole chapter of just like the loss of Dobby, and everyone was so taken aback by it, and everyone was traumatized from Malfoy Manor and everything like that. He dies, they bury him, and it ends. Where was the mourning period? Anyways, I said it again. Dobby deserves better than that, bitch. God. Something that wasn't in the books with this movie that they added was the scene with Harry and Hermione, and they're all dancing to Oh Children by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Absolutely phenomenal. Every time it comes on, I am just like, I want to be there. Like, I want to join their dancing. You feel a sense of loss because Ron's not there. Like, it's right after Ron leaves in the movie, and like Hermione is upset that he left, and obviously Harry is too, but we see it more with Hermione. She's like really upset that he's gone, and they don't even know if he's ever coming back. It's like a feeling of loss. Like, they're having fun. Happy Ma, we're having fun. It's like a sense of loss, but it's also like bittersweet at the same time. Because they're Harry and Hermione, I know there are people who ship them, but with this I was like, oh, they're like getting along over their grievance of losing Ron, not in a death kind of way, but in a friend way or a love way. It just hits me in the heart, and it makes me happy and sad at the same time. And Ron aside too, it's like they have the world on their shoulders. Like, literally the world is ending. It's bittersweet. And when you listen to the song too, like, obviously the song is about more like serious topics. Look it up if you want to know, if you don't know already, but it's like such a hauntingly beautiful song that it's like, oh, it just gives me shivers. And I listen to that song like outside of Harry Potter. I love that song. It makes me cry. Like, it's beautiful. Such a beautiful song. A little weird with the topic of it, but I see what they were trying to do with, like, they don't know what's gonna happen. They don't know what's to come. And they're a little scared, but also hopeful. Wow, I am so poetic. Why am I a soldier? He will tear your city down, oh Lord. Anyways, and the worst part of this movie is that there's no Hogwarts. No Hogwarts means I'm mad and sad, and I miss the school. Please give me more Hogwarts content. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with my makeup right now. Number 6. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, or Sorcerer's Stone, whatever the fuck you want to say. What is the difference, by the way? I know it's like American and UK, but like, why did they have to change the name of Philosopher? What? Please let me know, because I feel like I've tried to look it up and I just didn't understand. It's getting harder to rank from here because from 6 up, they're all really good to me. The last 2, I'm like, okay, whatever. But the rest of them, I love them. I love them. The nostalgia in Philosopher's Stone is perfect. Literally perfect. They capture everything they needed to capture. Sure, they left things out of the book, but I don't really care at the same time. It just captures the feeling of the magical world. The only thing is I feel like it takes them a while to get to the main point of the plot, but I'm also not mad about it because it's like, it's the same with the book. They have to introduce everything, every little detail about Hogwarts and the friends, the characters, people, whatever. Like, you have to introduce every single thing. You can't just leave people hanging to, like, guess what things are. It just takes a little while to take off, I guess. Good thing about it is it's perfect for Halloween season and Christmas season, or the holiday season. And it's perfect for any time of the year, too. But, like, if you want it to be a holiday movie, it absolutely can be. All of them can be, but this one specifically because they have both Christmas and Halloween. It's a child movie. It's a children's movie. So there's no awkward scenes to watch with you, the rest of your family. There's no kissing scenes. There's no references to anything. I mean, the majority of them are like that, but I'm thinking of Deathly Hallows Part 1, where they're making out and they're naked and they're covered in silver paint. Yeah, that's awkward. Another, I guess, a good thing, the actors were so little and they were so cute, and I love them. I love little baby Rupert, he's so cute, and little baby Daniel. Oh my goodness, I love them both. They were casted perfectly, but I just think they are the cutest. And Emma Watson, of course, too. All of them were. And Matthew Lewis, oh my goodness, as Neville. Clearly, I loved this movie so much that I continued watching the movies, because my dad was like, oh, watch Harry Potter. And I was like, no, I don't want to watch that. It's stupid. I had never, actually watched it. I feel like I look like a raccoon. Negative. No Remus Lupin. Hello? Where is he? We're moving on to the top 5s. So number 5 is, drumroll please. I'm not editing that in. Deathly Hallows Part 2. It was really hard for me to choose between Philosopher's Stone and Deathly Hallows Part 2. But I was like, okay, Deathly Hallows is a bit more exciting to me. I don't know, I like the action and the being on the edge of my seat. That's, I have everything good to say about this movie. The only bad things are probably just, the sad stuff. Remus Lupin dying. Yeah, maybe we can change that. Maybe he doesn't actually die and he survives. And marries Sirius Black. Anyways, absolutely fantastic movie. The shortest Harry Potter movie, by the way, which is good. It's 2 hours and 10 minutes. I might know all of the lengths off by heart. Anyways, I don't get bored once watching this movie. I could watch this one separately, but with Part 1, I would rather watch both of them together. Part 2 is really good, with action and everything, emotion, the cinematic, everything about it. It's just really good. Which says a lot, because it's the 5th one. I'm on the edge of my seat the entire time that I watch. It's such a good movie. And this is when I need to really focus, because I'm doing eyeliner. So I'm gonna sit here while I talk, and my family just got home, so I'm being quieter. I'm not yelling. Obviously, my favorite characters die. We have the Weasley twins. Fred Weasley's my favorite Weasley twin. Don't tell George. And he dies. And Remus is my favorite, all-time favorite, and he dies too, and it's really sad. But also, he's with his friends, so it's okay. But Fred, that was unnecessary, and that was really messed up of JKR to kill him off. Some of the best quotes from the worst character. If you don't know who the worst character is, it's Dumbledore, okay? Don't be thrown off by the poster behind me. I don't like Dumbledore. I don't like him at all. Which I can also get into in another video one day. I'm trying not to let my eyeliner leak. Do not pity the dead, Harry. Pity the living, and above all those who live without love. I love that quote so much, and I've heard it in TikTok sounds. It's just really good for editing, I guess. But yeah, I literally wrote in my notes, Voldemort looks like a scrumptious chicken wing. If you know, you know. Maybe I'll insert a picture of it, what I'm talking about. I love the duel scene. The music, I could listen to the soundtrack, and with that one song where they're dueling, Voldemort and Harry, phenomenal. I love that scene. The only thing is, and I'm comparing to the book, I remember specifically, Harry had an entire roasting battle. Not even a battle, he was literally just roasting, roast after roast, to Voldemort in the book. And it was so good, and I was literally dying of laughter. It was too good. Did not include it. It was supposed to be, everyone was watching, no one was there. Yeah, anyways, that movie is one of the best, and I love it, but it's not worth being in my top 4, because the other 4, which are, more people hate on my top 4, and I don't really care. Well, I do, but I don't at the same time, because it's my top 4, and I know that I'm right, because I am the biggest Harry Potter fan in this entire world, real, not fake. And one more thing, I don't like Snape. Let's get that clear. I don't like him. Nothing you say will change my mind on that. I don't like him as a character. Snape's memories is one of my favorite scenes of that whole movie, only because of like the emotion and the way that they show it. I just really like it with the music, and it's like you feel like you're finding out so much about this character. Again, like, I don't even care for Snape. I don't like him. I don't really give a fuck about anything that he has to say. But I do think the Snape memories scene is really beautiful. It gets me excited. Like, I get excited to watch that scene when it comes up. I just love the emotion of it. I love all the pain in that movie. Moving on to number 4. I feel like not a lot of people like this movie, but I do, and it's The Half-Blood Prince. But I want to start off by saying the title of this movie and book is so pointless. Snape being the Half-Blood Prince has no significance further on in the movie or the rest of the series. You are the one that was writing in this potions book. Cool. Like, what other significance does that have? Although I did try to think of an alternate title, and I couldn't think of a good one. Like, Half-Blood Prince was probably the best option, but like, I'm sure there's one out there that would be better. Like, Harry Potter and the Pensieve, Harry Potter and the Tom Riddle, what the fuck? Why did you kill these people? I hope you know what I mean. That's stupid on J.K. Rowling's part, though. It's such an intense scene when Snape is like, I'm the Half-Blood Prince. Like, who actually cares? What did that affect further on? If you have an answer for me, like, please let me know, because I am genuinely asking, like, what kind of significance did it have other than making Snape more of a loved character for people? I don't know. Yeah, like, what is the significance of him being the person that was writing in the potions book? Like, cool, get a life. Stop obsessing over Harry's mother. Moving on. This movie is funny. That's why I like it. They finally decided to let Daniel Radcliffe let out his comedy side, his comedy skills. Like, he's good at comedy. Like, Daniel knows what he's doing when he's trying to be funny. Like, he's actually funny with acting. And all of them are, but like the scene where he took liquid luck, like, that is the funniest scene ever. My cat's meowing. What's the matter? I know, you want to go outside, but you can't. L. Downside of this movie is that there is barely any Remus Lupin and barely any Weasley twins. We do get the first scene with the Weasley twins where they're in their shop and it's so fun, and then that's it. They never show up again. Well, they do, but like, not enough to be like, oh, significant. There's not enough of my favorites, and I'm confused as to why. Where are they? And Sirius Black is dead at that point. Where is he? Like, come back. I mean, I'm sure Remus isn't in it because he's busy with Sirius, because... See, even Tucker is upset that he isn't in the movie. Okay, he wants out. Another downside, I guess, or reason why it's not in the top 3 is because this was my favorite book of all the Harry Potter books, and it just doesn't live up to the book. The movie is good on its own, but like, compared to the book... the movie just cuts out all the Tom Riddle lore. All of the Horcrux lore, and it's so interesting. I read that book so fast, and I'm not a very fast reader, but I read it so fast because it was that good. Like, I read it in maybe a week. I guess this is a good and bad thing. They actually let you mourn Dumbledore, but I don't really want to mourn Dumbledore because I don't like him. So. You tried, but I don't care. Yeah, I don't know, I feel like in this movie they focus more on the comedic thing, which is a good thing, but they focus more on like the quirky, like, teenage things rather than the Tom Riddle Horcrux flashback scenes, which are so relevant to the story, and it kind of like confuses everything that happens on later with the other Horcruxes, because it's like, well, where is this ring from? Where did you get it? Dumbledore, where did you fucking get the ring? Tell us, bitch. The picture of Regulus Black. You knew it was coming if you're a Marauder stan, like me. All I'm gonna say is that does not look like Timothée Chalamet. Although the cave scene in that movie is very, very convenient for Marauders editors who want to make sad Regulus edits. By the way, all Regulus edits are sad, so works out in their favor even more. Number 3, top 3 now. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. I feel like there's a lot of mixed answers with this one for people, but I actually love this movie. It's actually the one that I've watched the most. Oh my god, I look like literally insane right now. But I don't know why I did my eye makeup like this. But yeah, it's the one that I've watched the most. And you're probably thinking, well, that's not your top movie. You should watch the top movie the most. No, the reason why I watched this one the most is because it's good. And I was sick one day and I had it playing because we had it like recorded on the TV. This was before we had like all these different things. I was sick, and so I was watching Order of the Phoenix, and then I was so lazy and feeling so crappy that day that I didn't feel like changing to watch anything else, so I just kept replaying the movie. I watched it probably like 4 times in one day, and somehow I'm not annoyed of it. That's how I know that it's a good movie to me, because I've watched it so many times and I'm still not tired of it. I don't know, I just really like it. There is Wolfstar angst, and you know me, I love some Remus Lupin, I love Remus and Sirius, but it's limited. We'll get to the other ones later. Let me talk about Sirius Black's Face in the Fire downgrade. Nobody talks about this, but I talk about it in my head. I'm okay. If you know what I'm talking about, it's the scenes where there's Harry talking to Sirius through the fire. That's how they're communicating. And in the Goblet of Fire, it's like this great CGI where his face is literally the fire. And then they got lazy with Order of the Phoenix and they just like projected his face over the fire. It wasn't the same. It's like, why would you not put that extra effort? It's so cool in the Goblet of Fire. Why would they not do it again? Remus, Sirius, Weasley twins are in this one. Perfection. I love the DA scenes, the Dumbledore's Army scenes with all that, and like the mentions of Alice and Frank Longbottom is really interesting to me, and just like we learn about more of the characters, like the Marauders. That's great for me because I love the Marauders. They make Cho Chang look bad. They make her look bad. Why? She didn't even snitch. In the book, she wasn't even the one who snitched. It was her friend. She didn't have anything to do with it. And even in the movie, even though she was the one who snitched, she didn't do it willingly. She was under a potion, and they found out about that. And they still make her look bad anyways. Seems racially motivated, if you ask me. And I'm being dead serious about that. Because people, like, hate Cho so much. Because they blame it on that. But it's probably a bit more than that. Because people are just racist. The book is it's the longest book of all the Harry Potter books. But I honestly prefer the movie. Although, I wish that we would have gotten the St. Mungo's scene with Neville's parents, because that was like such a heartbreaking moment with the gum wrapper, was it? Yeah, but we didn't get that scene in the movie, and it was really unfortunate because we could have. It's not like it was just a random scene, like it was a specific scene where we see where his parents are. Like we learn about his parents in that movie and the book. They didn't show enough of how angry Harry actually was. Like, where was the scene where Harry is flipping? I actually flipped something. Where Harry is flipping tables at Dumbledore because he's so angry that Sirius, like, was treated the way that he was. As he should. Where was that scene? No, he was just like, it's my fault. And that was it. Hello? No, Harry is angry. Harry is furious with Dumbledore. One of my favorite soundtracks. I love the soundtrack of this movie. Hate Umbridge, but she's kind of, like, iconic in the movie. I have to be honest. I don't like her at all. But just like her music, like it's so good. I could listen to it all day. My all-time favorite quote from the Weasley twins, which is also my TikTok username, is in the book of this movie. They didn't add it in. Why? I don't know. Well, I know why, because Peeves isn't in the movies, but if he were, they could have added it, and it's so good. Where the Weasley twins leave, and they're like, give her hell from us, Peeves. My favorite scene. But yeah, I actually really like that movie, and I feel the need to watch it very soon, because I watched my top 2 recently, but not my top 3. So number 2, not 3, is Goblet of Fire. This is a controversial one, I think, because not very many people like it. I don't know why, but they don't like it. I think it's something to do with the book being a lot better, which I understand. I love that movie. It's so good. I mean, it's just such a comfort movie to me. I find it really fun, and it's adventurous, and it like just brings you into the movie. You feel like you're interacting. And can we talk about the CGI on the dragon? That movie's from like 2004, and they did perfect. Like, it looks real. It doesn't even look like it's edited at all. Maybe I just haven't noticed it, but like, it looks real. Of course the book is better, but the movie is good on its own. Like, I watch it all the time. It's the most recent one that I've watched because it's just so good. I could watch it all day and not get tired of it. Has a good plot twist, which like, it's kind of easy to pick up on, maybe because I have seen it a million times, but I feel like it's easy to pick up on for like new people watching. Another thing is they give you time to grieve Cedric. It's all I ask. They give you time to grieve him. Yes, they kill him and then they go into a different scene, but afterwards with Amos Diggory, he's like, that's my son, my boy. That whole scene is just like shivers, haunting. It makes me so sad every single time. I can't tell you the amount of times that I have edited that scene because it's so sad. And then we get the whole like Dumbledore speech about Cedric, which is such bullshit because he could have prevented it. Sorry, I hate Dumbledore. Although I do have another question. Why did Hogwarts, the entirety of Hogwarts, not go through school counseling after seeing a literal dead body? That's fucked up. That's Dumbledore being a shit headmaster. It should have been Minnie all along. But yeah, there's a perfect amount of adventure, comedy, action, emotion, new characters, new spells, creatures. Everything is good about it. And of course, the perfect amount. Well, there could have been more, but Robert Pattinson is in it. You're gonna tell me that this isn't a good thing? I mean, if you don't like him, then maybe, but I love Robert Pattinson. Of course I'm gonna love Goblet of Fire. Of course, McGonagall is the only logical thinker here. She's like, girl, why are you putting this kid through something that he doesn't need to do? My question is, why didn't they just have him, like, be in the task, but immediately retrieve him from finishing the task so he wasn't actually in it? Because how is it fair that Hogwarts gets 2 computers and the other schools get 1? Why didn't they pull out more names from the other schools so that it makes it more fair? So many different things they could have done to make it more fair, but Dumbledore is stupid and he hates everybody except for himself. Another question, which is for the movie only, because I know they don't do this in the book. Why did Harry write Sirius Black's name on the envelope when he sent a letter to him when he knows that he's an escaped prisoner? Are you kidding me? Are you dumb? They didn't even have to show him writing Sirius's name. They could have just implied, oh, I'm sending this to Sirius. Why would he do that? Stupid on the movie's part. Sirius and the fire, CGI, is so good. I've already talked about it. I love this part. I think it's so cool how they did that. I don't know why they changed it in Order of the Phoenix. Maybe because it's easier, but like, come on. It was so cool. I love Goblet of Fire, and I will stand by that statement, and I won't accept any slander from anyone else about it.
Oh my god.
Now, that brings me to my top movie, which is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. You probably knew that because I didn't name it in the other ones. This is the only Harry Potter movie ever. No matter how much I love the other ones, this will always be my top movie. It will never change. The other ones might change, but this one will always be the top movie to me. It's actually in my top 4 on Letterboxd, if you know what that is. It's a movie reviewing app, and it's in my top 4 favorite movies ever to exist that I've seen. So, and if you know anything about the Harry Potter movies, I'm sure you know why I love it so much, because Remus Lupin is in it and I love him, and there's Wolfstar angst. The hug between Remus and Sirius is literally the backbone of the Marauders fandom. Like, literally the only reason why we exist. Just kidding, I know there's other reasons why. My cat is literally scratching at the door. See, he heard me mention Wolfstar and he's like, I need to come in. What are you doing? Did you hear Wolfstar? Hi. He's so cute. You're so cute. The soundtrack is beautiful. It's an actual... I know it is. It's an actual cinematic masterpiece, and... Period. Yeah. You know exactly what you're saying. Yep. It's the best movie, right? Meow if it's the best movie. Yep. I'm right. If Tucker says so, I'm correct. See? Do you see how bad I am at lipstick? one of the things I don't like about it is the time turner scene. And that's only because I don't like the one Buckbeak scene because it feels... Tucker! It feels repetitive. Obviously it is, but like, I get bored really quickly of it. I'm like, okay, let's move on to the actual stuff. Love Buckbeak, but I don't really care that much. But yeah, the soundtrack is beautiful. A Window to the Past is my favorite song. I actually fall asleep to it sometimes. Like, I literally will look up Hogwarts ambiance with A Window to the Past playing in the background, and that's what I listen to fall asleep. All I've ever wanted in my life to experience is riding on Buckbeak and flying over the Black Lake. Are you kidding me? That's all I ever want. I just want to mention how queer-coded Remus Lupin is, because he literally said someone like me twice in one sentence, in one scene, where he's like, oh, no one would want someone like me being your teacher. He doesn't mean a werewolf, he means gay. And the werewolf is a metaphor to being gay, so real, not fake. And also David Thewlis, literally, he thought Remus was gay, and that's how he played him. And of course, the bridge scene. Oh, I just named like all the good things about the movie. The bridge scene with Harry and Remus, where they're talking about James and Lily. That's my favorite. And nothing ever will compare. And Tucker agrees, although he's hiding now, so he can't say anything. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed me rambling on and on about Harry Potter for an hour. Well, it's probably shorter. It's an hour for me. I just want to say that I'm correct. All my opinions are correct about the movies, and no one can tell me that they're wrong. And I highly regret putting this lipstick on because it's never gonna come off. Served and slayed. Just like Prisoner of Azkaban.